expect a little bit more people to tell us that, but it's always happening that sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, it's a little bit unpredictable. Thank you for Antonella to organizing everything. I think the terrace is amazing and so on. And yeah, we have Elena who will present us a little bit about stress and work-life balance, which I think it's, for me it's very important because I have stress and no life balance. So, let's see.
So hello everyone, my name is Elena and I represent now myself as lifestyle medicine advocate. So I'm advocating people to follow lifestyle and live within balance. And today I want to share with you what might be interesting for ladies working in higher education is work-life balance for women in higher education. So today I'm going to share, first of all, I want to share with you, please scan and follow me on my YouTube, where I record different topics. Yeah.
We send the slides out.
Different topics, including life-work balance, specially designed for women in higher education, like academia or professional settings. And if you have any requests or you want me to record for you especially or do another presentation specially needed for your attention, I'm more than welcome to do that and answer all your questions. So today I want to focus more women in academia age of 40, because from age of 40 everything's shifting and women get prepared for getting older from age of 40 is absolutely different topic. So how I understand here is more majority women under the age of 40, and we want to cover the main stress-related issue and how to balance them. So the problem is that this age when the women are getting PhD, finishing their masters, they overlap with career building and the peak of female fertility and partnership, creating family and caregiving years. They're creating already enormous pressure, including for our biology. Academic culture rewards constant availability. So every single time, every single term, they have a deadlines when you have to comply. They're creating already stress for our biology. And we truly believe that we have a lot of years ahead, but reality is different. It is the most fertile and most biologically active years, then women need to balance in the right way as possible. But academia and career sometimes taking biggest chunk of that, creating very hard, without reasonable steps, combine everything together. A lot of women quite often judged in terms of competence. You have to perform extremely high level, and every single year women facing higher standards to be higher achiever together with male levels. And we know that academia and research generally for past 70 years, and 80% was based on male. All the researches, all the science mainly is designed for male steady output. Female, we are not linear, they are cycle. We're going up and down in terms of hormonal levels and with our body changes, so we are more drastic. We need slightly different approach. However, professional settings not designed for that. We're talking about standard room temperatures. We're talking about physical, our activity and focus, concentration depends on the female cycle. However, all that is flattened in academic professional settings, and that creates incredible stress for every single woman. Result of this pressure and environment where all the ladies in higher professional or academia we're facing is external. We look externally super successful on our LinkedIn, on the paper, but we have internal overactivation that causing us unresolved stress. So the paradox for more modern women, they are more educated as ever. We are more capable as ever. And they are more exhausted as ever women in human history. So we don't have to have a planner or plan better our day and a fixed extra meeting or extra planner with something, but we have resolved this system, and the system starts from us ladies cooperating together and bring this issue to the highest level. So how stress shows up before burnout? And a burnout is very strong and very difficult part of result of the stress. And unfortunately, recovery from burnout takes years. We're not talking about months. We're not talking about simple steps. But to get to the burnout, you also have to be in chronic stress for years. To avoid that, different parameters I want to talk with you about, and if you have questions, please ask. In terms of medicine, we're talking about body. And body is everything. It's our sleep disruption. If you don't sleep on the time what you need, and the women, as I said, we're cycle, and sometimes we sleep less, but sometimes we need more because our estrogen and hormonal levels change, and we do need extra rest. If you don't feel that, you should be able to allow yourself to have a better rest in the night time. Cycle changes. We know that sometimes we have delay, and this is number one precursor of being overload. So normally we have 28-day cycle, but sometimes we're missing, or sometimes being really busy, we don't even know when our next cycle coming. The bleed might be much heavier, might be lighter, we have more cramps, but again, we blank them because we have to carry on, or we even don't notice them. I have a lot of clients coming in, if they notice that being on menopause for half a year, if they didn't notice that being happening such a big changes. Of course, we're paying price for that. Headaches and gut issue. Here is another topic, gut-brain axis, vagus nerve, and if your gut is inflamed, there is no meditation, there is no medication who will be able to fix your brain fog, tiredness, and loss of focus. So it's not going to happen because mild inflammation in the gut sees and affect all metabolism together. Quite often they don't have a time to eat. They grab the sandwich on the run, or they drinking too much coffee to keep this focus on actually destroying our gut even more without noticing it. And as a result, everything like a block, brick by brick, accumulates, creating the stress, and then we welcome burnout. There is no fixed fast solution. So fatigue is worried in evenings. Sometimes in the evening we want to socialize, sometimes in the evening we want to have a nice dinner or go out or working for the next day, and quite often they neglect the evening routine and, more importantly, sleep and wind down time. Our mind is different. We can talk about more probably psychologists what mind is all about, but the women in higher education, they have the tendency to overthink everything, every single problem, and they want to create, we have a lot of knowledge, and we're always trying to think about the issue and think how we can optimize it, how we can plan it better, and as a result, turning into perfectionism, which is not healthy for general well-being. Imposter spikes. We do so much, and then on the end, and once suddenly we feel everything I'm doing is useless, everything what I'm done so far don't have a value, so we feel unvaluated, or we feel that people don't see how much we are doing, and it's true. That is a sign of stress, and it's a stress of overload of environment and daily life. Difficulty to focus. As I said, even here we have a coffee. They are trying to bring you matcha to relax, rather drink a lot of coffee to sharpen your focus. We have our options, we have our tools that we can keep your gut healthy afternoon, reduce inflammation in the gut and increase the focus, rich polyphenols, and for example, as today I bring this in matcha, so maybe that's gonna a little bit bring this into your daily routine, and you will notice slowly progressing and focus and microbiomes and your general well-being. As a result of that, every small talk's feeling huge, so it's very hard for us to talk about something out of our expertise. Find it interesting or a little bit more shallow because we overthink everything and under constant on the go. And of course it's relationship. So we have already enough, and next to that we need to build the families. We have parents, we have children, we have spouses, friends, and how we can bring this social circle together if we already can't cope with the deadlines, but they're constantly coming the new deadlines. As a result, we have irritability. It's not our desire, it's because we can't cope anymore, and every little demand for us might be as a drama, or it's too much. You expect this to be very easy, or go on the flow. So because any relationship required your effort, patience, and the time. Low libido, sex life, we're not talking about even medical centers or medical settings about your sex drive, about your sexual desire to your partner, but it is unnegotiable part of human life in the man and woman. So quite often women have a low libido, and having less active sex life physically is required time, is required calm body, and is required relaxation and enjoyment of a life. Then you have a next report to write by 7 p.m. or next day before 9 a.m. you should send. Last thing you think is to relax with your partner in the bedroom. Resettlement. As a result, all these little points creating resettlement in relationships. And of course, it's, as I said, require time, patience, and a very good health and stress management. We want closeness, we want having family, we want to have a good social circle, but we don't want more demand. And children, relationships, everything, including a lot of our time. And solutions, we need to begin, we overthink. Recognizable patterns in the room. Why in the room? Because we're all capable, highly educated women working in professional settings, and what majority of us will have as our personality. All of us will be very quick in decision making. We are admired, we are ambitious, people are proud of us. We are somebody, our family and friends will be proud to share. Look, who are my friends working here, doing this. They run every day like an emergency. We have so many things to do in our agenda. We have so many meetings. We need to rush and need to plan our time from the time, and believe that if we slow down, if I choose myself, if I choose to decline or cancel anything, I will lose my future. So the high functioning helper, they want to keep students, the teams, our colleagues, and home emotionally stable. Again, we want to remember every single event. We want to support our colleague. We want to be kind. We usually don't say no because we have worries if I say no, they will take me that I'm not a good person. So, and this is normal, emotional part of any woman. So there's nothing wrong with us. This is how we are designed. So we say yes automatically because we want to please. We want to still explode with feminine energy and being good. And there's nothing wrong with that, it's absolutely normal. But sometimes we need in professional settings to be steady and to say no. It's not part of selfishness, it's self-protection from the potential burnout and stress management. And as a result, successful become a stranger to yourself. So you look successful on your Instagram, or not Instagram, on your LinkedIn or in your CV or in the paper. We publish papers we're really proud of. But the success and our praise for the success that we achieved feels flat. So we feel tired and disconnected from the joy. So yes, we have it, majority of us, we can send your papers to read and your achievements, what we have done. However, on one moment, including me, you say, oh my God, what I'm doing. I was sure that everything I've done for so many years bring the purpose, and that's true that I should continue the journey, but I'm done. I was working for so many years, and I'm not the only one. And I think women can come in this in this state, but we need to bring joy from life back, and sometimes make a reasonable adjustment. They quite often believe that that's crazy rush in our life is a normal adulthood, and we stop expecting more from life. The Germans have the day off, just enjoy yourself, and they take the time off and leave to spend the time and find the time for yourself. Let's talk about the stress loop. And here is where the stress comes from. First of all, it's coming from overcommitment. They think that we'll say yes, we'll fit it, but life need extra time. So allow yourself extra 20-30% of this time. So If you believe they will take you 1 hour, make sure you block 1.5 hours or even 2 hours. But 30% is a normal overestimation. Don't overbook your day, overload yourself with different jobs or with any projects. For recovery, sleep, food and buffers. Make sure that your sleep restoring, your food is anti-inflammatory, you avoid ultra-processed food, and you have a schedule. You follow your rhythm. More important for women is to know your cycle, to be careful of your cycle and feel yourself. I'll talk more about it in a lecture. Some lectures on my YouTube channel more about how to understand and feel your body, and you plan your week or your month ahead based on the way how you feel. If you feel focus, concentration for ovulation, for example, make sure you put the most junk, the most intensive work for this time. You'll be much more productive, up to 50% more productive. And before period, if you're sensitive, make sure you do admin job and plan this ahead. So admin paper correction, we don't need a lot of input, and your IQ or concentration based on your menstrual cycle. And the research showing that productivity for us women is much better. You just will do so much more, such much more effectively. Of course, I'm talking about overcommitment and effectiveness, but when you plan it and you know yourself, you allow your body to rest, you allow your mind to rest, and plan this ahead on the right order. As a result of overcommitment, poor sleep, poor food, our cortisol rise. Cortisol is a great hormone, but somehow in the science, because we gone far overstressed, the cortisol become a very bad hormone and the baddies. But from the scientific and medical point of view, is the hormone who wakes us up in the morning and gives us energy to wake up. The problem is that the cortisol constantly in there to keep you going, because you push yourself, your mind, for next project or next deadline. The cortisol stay high to constantly keep our sugar elevated, because your brain needs a sugar. They need a fuel. So as a result, cortisol stays elevated. Elevated sugar, elevated cortisol causes elevated sugar causes elevated insulin, and they arrive into diabetes and visceral fat. And all our metabolism, and the cascade of different processes going on, actually very hard after that to break down. As a result of high cortisol and all these hormonal changes, metabolic changes going on, we have less patience, we're more irritable. It's very hard for us to hold the stress. We have less desire and of course less focus, because cortisol and the same insulin is not doing the job anymore, because the idea is to deliver safely this energy to the brain and think sharper. But within the constant high cortisol, we have resilience, and it's not helping us anymore. And what we do? They find the solutions. We're so creative. We find the coffee, they find after that to chilled out alcohol, they find the solutions, yeah, and that might take note. So as a result, we have a more guilt, more self-criticism, and then trying to balance and squeeze everything. We have a more different apps to control sleep, to control how many steps I'm done, and creating even more stress for our biology. But solution here for everyone will be different. The goal here is not to be tougher or more. The goal is to interrupt the loop early as possible. So I'm here to help you. If you have, well, all of us will have different stress. We all have it without exclusion. And we can decide where to start with and how we can found it. So now I just want to create little protocols, might be helpful. And what I think the most important here is regulate the body, because body is everything. First step, the first week, of course, you cannot optimize your nervous system if you're feeling always under the siege. So the first, of course, is our restoration, and the sleep is everything for our stress management. Protect one repeatable sleep window. So here it's very important to go to the bed at the same time. It might be 10, might be 11, but you go to the bed, make it as your ritual at all at the same time. If somebody invites you for the dinner or to the clubs and you really want to feel better in terms of stress, make sure you decline. You say no because you prioritize your recovery. And sleep here, there is no better remedy as a sleep. Of course, we can talk endlessly about sleep. Is that important? And here you might use different apps to make sure you have a good sleep. You might have different apps to make sure you don't have sleep apnea, you don't snore, how many times at night you wake up. Step 2 is to get the morning daylight within 60 minutes. It's number one buffer for all your circadian rhythm and all your metabolic health. Now it's easier, you're waking up, so what you do, you can open the window and just stare on the sun, or you can, in the winter time, recommend you to have this morning sun, because of course then it's sunlight. You need to be in the office by 8:30 a.m. in the morning. You're waking up at 6 or 7. You can have then your morning lights. Is a different alarm system will wake you up slowly and you will feel so much more energized. There's different options as well. Really help people who travel. If you travel for more than 2 hours in circadian rhythm zone, keep this lamp with you, and it will allows you to recover your metabolic health and the sleep schedule faster. So add one daily regulation movement per day. Movement is everything. When your body has to move, it might be walk, might be stretch, might be yoga, maybe dance, or maybe the strength. The strength here and is very important for women over 40s. So if you hit age of 40, strength and heavy lifting here are negotiable. But younger people, they can just need a movement and need to move the body regularly. Eating one on a time to avoid the afternoon cortisol and coffee spiral. So of course here our gut comes first. Ideally we won't have agenda. We won't have special time for our gut, because there's a billion of different microbes living there and they need to be fed. Take it as a little pet. When you wake up in the morning, they need to eat, and what you eat, what you feed them, your day will depend on. If you don't feed them, your mood goes down, your cortisol spikes. So the time management here in terms of food is very important. And I can recommend you, if somebody wants to check, to have continued glucose monitoring. They have a Lingo. If you will see, it's tiny little sensors on the head to see how your body produces energy and how do you respond to the food during your day and how you survive the night time. Because if you don't have regulated sugar and your glucose spikes up and down, and that is number one linked to the cortisol, then releasing reserves of the sugar from the liver, from the muscles. And if it's not stable, we're not talking about stress management. We need to address that. And you can do that by this, as I said, Lingo system is a lifestyle medicine approach. It costs around £50. As I said, you monitor, put this, download the app, and you see if you have the problems, it might be reasonable, consult healthcare professional and talk about the issue with them and what exactly might cause these spikes. And that might be a reason as well in regular sleep, waking up, and instability, and food and sleep in your recovery. Talking about here about vagus nerve, relaxation and vagus nerve stimulation. So here we're talking about just mindfulness. It might be yoga, your breathing techniques, or just time for yourself. There are different techniques suitable for different people. Whatever you found is easier for you. It might be calming music. I just recorded a lecture about beats per minute to calm you down. You need 3 minutes to calm music. And after 3 minutes, your heart and metabolism get adapted to the beats per minute. And if you have anxiety or you're too distressed, you just put the 60 to 70 beats per minute music and it calms you down within 3 to 5 minutes. The same we can do before you go to bed. If you overloaded your thoughts, just put your headphones in, choose the correct music. If you need to exercise and you're sleeping, don't have energy, have very very intensive music, 150 beats per minute, and within 3 minutes, your body will get into the similar rhythm. So, of course, you know, everything is a light exposure, no laptops, at least half an hour, ideally 2 hours to wind down before you go to bed. Protein. Before proteins, they need around 1.6 gram per kilo. So you need to calculate. Of course, your activity is important. Mainly it's important for people over 40s to keep the strength and the muscles. Walk after lunch. Again, here's what's your glucose, how you respond to the food, how to respond to the carbs. And they know that walking after food is beneficial. 15-20 minutes just after you got your lunch, go outside and move. It's help your microbiome's absorption for all the nutrients. And phone, of course, clearly out of bed. And here is the boundaries. If you prioritize the body first, the stress management will follow. You will feel better. You will feel calmer. Protocol 2, shrinking the invisible load. The woman with no boundaries eventually become kind of her surface and resentful underneath. So the second protocol, after they sort out the body, we want to see how much load we have, how much we put on our shoulder. Write the hidden tasks you carry: mentoring, conflict management, remembering things, chasing or planning for the projects to move things ahead. Circle 3 tasks to stop. You can't cope everything, and you need to decide where whatever you believe you're not very good or causing you too much stress. And if you notice that causing you anxiety, creating you too much stress, you have to let it go. You can delay things not important, or you can delegate, but you shouldn't feel guilt. You shouldn't feel that if I say no, or if I be honest and say I'm not good at that, I'm not perfect, it causes me stress, anxiety, and just pass it to somebody who might be better. They're all different. This is the beauty of the team, because we're all different. They have different personalities and they're all different in different tasks. But if you're trying to take everything on one shoulder, first of all, we can't be perfect in everything. Perfectionism does not exist, only in our head. Pick one anchor role in this quarter for 3 months. Choose your priority. You might prioritize your health. You might prioritize your parents, or might prioritize your, I don't know, it might be your PhD, your new projects, or your deadline. Prioritize this thing and make sure you follow and decline other tasks, because this is my priority. Replace guilt with a script before the next task arrives, and protect 2 meetings, 3 deep work blocks, and 1 recovery half day. So make sure you don't overload yourself and allow yourself rest. As I said here before, our planning to know how we feel depends on the cycle really helps. You should be able to say that you are at capacity this week and you want to do it well, but unfortunately you have to decline. Yeah. So don't feel guilty and allow yourself to say no. Protocol 3 is rebuild connection, pleasure, and meaning. Yeah, so that's it. Schedule 1 relational ritual, walk off your dinner with your friends, make touching closeness pleasure rather performance, and add daily micro pleasures: sunlight, music, tea, shower, something good for you. And see what you feel the best for you, how you feel more energized, what you enjoy the most. And remember, pleasure is not laziness, it's regulation and meaning. You have to be open and say that you are tired, you need a recovery, but you want closeness, but you need softness first. So open and talk about your limitation openly, is no guilt. Okay, so simply we could decide. So again, all of us will have different things and you will be able to prioritize, and depends on that. You choose what is right for you. D1 movement, sleep windows, nourishing meal, partner, and recovery. How to make this happen to do? You don't need to earn your rest. You have to put your rest as priority and recovery. Without recovery, you won't be able to carry on. You have to be able to say no and keep your boundaries, because this will be your medicine. And balance is built weekly as a planner and is not found magically. A woman can be brilliant and rested, ambitious and warm, structured and soft, and highly educated and fully involved. But its integration is the highest level of education. We all have to learn. And what is one small change would you like to make this week to feel more alive and more feminine? Do you have any questions?